So obviously I'm Nicolette. I feel like you guys haven't seen me in a while, so I have to kind of introduce myself again. First thing I wanted to say was this video, I didn't know when it was going to come out. First of all, I just decided what made me decide to do this video right now was just because I'm always waiting for the perfect time, the perfect moment when I'm feeling my best. And to be honest, this morning I wasn't really in a good mood. And to be honest, I kind of haven't been the past few weeks. Like, my mood has been up and down. But I realized the best time to do things is sometimes when you're not yourself, because that's when people see the real you. And I kind of feel like people say to me, oh, why do you always wait for the perfect time when you look the best or when you feel the best? But sometimes that could be God telling you, let your guard down and do it now. So here I am. So this is a very long story. Sorry, the dog's barking. So since this year began, I wasn't really myself at all. It started off with anxiety. So I've kind of been planning this video for a while now because it's like I knew I was getting better, but as I said, like, I'm always waiting for the perfect moment. I'm always waiting until I'm 100%. And to be honest, I wasn't sure when. Okay, so I'm getting off track now, but so basically it started off with anxiety. If you go not way back, but almost a year ago, last day of November, first day of December last year, my mom had COVID. I started convincing myself that I had it too. Started making myself feel like I couldn't breathe. Started making myself feel like I'm getting dizzy. All of these abnormal but real things that could be happening when you have anxiety. So everything was fine. I went to the doctor. I went to urgent care. My mom, hers was so mild that it was almost like she didn't even have it. She didn't feel anything. But yet, this is just to show you how powerful, your mind works. Like, you think because somebody else has it. And of course, I live with her. I was thinking that I had it too. I missed time from work for no good reason. But okay, let's fast forward a bit now. So I was kind of out of it. January, February, I was thinking that I had these symptoms, thinking that I had COVID, thinking that why am I feeling dizzy? And God is telling me the reason why you're feeling dizzy. He's been telling me repeatedly is because you're overwhelmed. That's when I took up going back to school to get my master's in psychology. Long story to that, but I ended up quitting. Even though I was doing excellent, I had a 99 average. I was only taking one course. But by the time April came, I realized, like, my eyes were twitching. Everywhere was twitching. It was stress related, so I had to stop. So long story short, that just wasn't something that I was cut out to do. I mean, I had an interest in being in psychology, and I kind of think it was just kind of peer pressure with family. They all went on my dad's side. They were all like in the field of psychology, and I kind of just wanted to prove to myself and to others and to my friends that I'm doing something great with my life. Like, not all of my friends had master's degree, but it just seemed like they had like an excellent job with like great compensation and all of that. And I don't know, I was feeling pretty unsure of myself. I was in a job that I wasn't sure was for me. But kind of rewind a bit because I'm going off track. So by the time February to March, I say, is when I actually started feeling real effects in my body, which basically it stemmed from stress. But from February to March, that's when I started to realize that it's not just stress. There's something, like, stress was manifesting it, but there was something else going on. So it all started from the dentist. So in December, sorry, I'm kind of like going all over the place, but this is where my mind is right now. And I'm trying to be very authentic and real right here with you guys. So in December, end of December last year, I went to the dentist. I feel like I was kind of like a mess with my teeth. Like, I mean, for the most part, people look at me and they're like, oh, you have a great smile, nothing's wrong. But it's more the teeth in the back, the teeth that aren't showing when you smile. That's basically where my issues were. I needed like 7 cavities done. I needed 4 wisdom teeth taken out. And with those 7 cavities, there was 2 of them that were pretty big that needed a root canal. The 5 were very minor. But so I was like, oh my goodness. And I knew because in 2021 in June, I went to the dentist. That was the last time I went before that. And I just knew that something, they told me that they didn't say anything about the cavity. Well, they said I had one cavity, but it was basically the issues with my wisdom teeth that they were more concerned about. They're like, you're in your 20s, this is something that should have been taken out since you were a teenager, blah, blah, blah. But my thing was, if it wasn't bothering me, why take it out? Why go through all of that? But then, I finally had a steady job last year going into this year. When the dentist said everything, I was like, this is my year of trying to take care of myself physically, mentally. I have the insurance. Let me just get everything done. And they told me it was going to be a lengthy process. They're like, there's a number of things you have to get done. They said, let's get rid of the cavities first. In order to get one cavity, I needed to have 2 of my wisdom teeth removed. They were recommending that all of them were taken out, but they said the left side was more important. So basically February, I'm feeling a little dizzy. I started noticing dizziness was coming. As I said before, I wasn't sure if it was from anxiety or like a prolonged panic attack with what was going on with my mom. But then I was like, no, this is like 2-3 months now this is going on. I spoke to the dentist about that. They were like, it could just be your cavities. Like, you have a lot going on. I went to the doctor. She recommended an ENT for me. There was nothing wrong with my ears, nose, and throat, so that was gone. So then when I really started to feel discomfort, I'd say it was March going into April. That's when I knew for sure, okay, this isn't my anxiety, something's going on. So the second day of March, I did my first wisdom tooth removal. I think I did like 2 cavities before in February, but March was when I did 2 wisdom teeth removal. One, what am I saying? Sorry. So March was the first root canal, like my front teeth, like in the back, the left back was my first root canal. I noticed everything was fine, but then I noticed I don't know, it just I kind of had a slight TMJ. It was confirmed by dentists years ago. I noticed in 2017. If you guys aren't familiar with TMJ, that's basically when your jaw isn't aligned properly. There's mild to moderate to severe cases, and mine was obviously mild to moderate. I didn't need surgery, I could breathe and everything. But basically you'd get tenderness in the jaw area. It could spread to your ears, your lower. Yeah, so basically TMJ is when your jaw is misaligned. It could be because your teeth are misaligned, or it could just be an issue with your jaw itself. But it gives you a lot of pain over here. It can be mild to moderate to severe, like I said. Your temples, my head would hurt a lot. Sometimes it even could make you dizzy. But what I was saying was, I started noticing, when I swallow, it would sound so loud. I don't know, it just felt weird. Just the fact of, I guess, the new tooth being there after they did the root canal. I don't know, it was the strangest thing. My face was just not only hurting, but it felt misaligned, like I said. Every time I swallow, I wouldn't feel it throughout my body, but it was just the noise that it made. It was so loud. It literally felt like a chiropractic treatment. When they twist you and they crack you. I was feeling, not the physical effect, but just the sound of it. It sounded like a chiropractic treatment. So, and then I started losing my balance. All this weird stuff started happening. It wasn't too severe. It was mostly in my head from February to March, I'm sorry. And then end of March, I knew it had something to do with my wisdom teeth because or just my teeth in general or my jaw, because sometimes when I'd be touching this area, I would feel it, the pressure as I was standing up. I kind of felt if I stomped really hard, I would feel the effects going into here. It wasn't even really hurting. It was just a pulling feeling. And so March, I got both of the wisdom teeth taken out on the left side. They said the right side needed it, but it wasn't too severe. So I knew I had to do with my jaw area, because it's just. And then as soon as I'd say April, that's when I really started getting scared. First week of April, I was walking with my mom. I started noticing this pushing feeling coming from my pelvis area. I wasn't sure where it was coming from. My mom was like, oh, you've just been stiff, not exercising. Maybe your body's just feeling stiff and such. Yeah, because I do dance, and I actually stopped, not for too long, but maybe around 3 weeks, because I was just feeling so uncomfortable. I felt like I was losing my balance. I felt dizzy. And then I was like, I have these wisdom teeth taken out. The whole process with my teeth, by the way, was finished like beginning of June, because I had the wisdom teeth were done like end of March, but then I still had to do like the two root canals, and that's like a 3 week process, or a 3 step process. First, you have to do the root canal, then they have to give you a temporary crown, then a permanent crown. And there was were like weeks spread apart, so I pretty much wasn't finished until beginning of June. But like I started noticing the effects, like I said, beginning of April, like throughout not just my face, but throughout my entire body. I felt slanted when I was walking. I kind of felt like a pushing feeling. Like I wasn't sure what the area was called. I'm assuming it's like your sacrum, like but I wasn't sure. I was like, it's like my lower back. Like I kind of just felt like something was pushing me every time I walked. Like it wasn't painful, like I said, but like lately, like it started like hurting my hips, my feet, because I kind of felt like there wasn't something in the middle, like right here, wasn't holding me up. So I kind of felt like I needed to put pressure on my feet, and then I think because of the pressure on my feet, they started feeling like dizzy and out of balance. Like, and then so basically the whole thing with this is God was basically the only one who was helping me. Well, not the only one, but He provided the help for me. By the time end of May came, like I knew something was wrong by May for sure. I went to physical therapy. He guided me to it. He was telling me what happens. Um, he said basically, like as strange as it sounds, like misalignment of your jaw could cause a ripple effect throughout your entire body. So my back was feeling weird, my lower back, like it even went to my shoulders. Like all these strange things were happening. Like in April, I remember like going to a store and I'd step down and I literally felt the ripple effect from like my feet, my shoulder. Like it felt like it was shaking. It felt like my spine was shaking. And I got like an X-ray in May, and they said besides like my mild form of scoliosis that I had as a child, basically everything was fine. So when I tried to explain to them, like they asked like the physical therapist, the doctors, they were like, when did you notice this started to occur? And I was like, the strange thing is, as soon as I started going to the dentist, like I was trying to fix one thing, and I kind of felt like something got misaligned. I don't think it was from the process of it, but just like it's kind of like, when you have an issue going on for a while and it hasn't been fixed. Like it may take several months, weeks, even years for you to feel the effect in your body. So because maybe I had, basically what God said was, my wisdom tooth caused misalignment of my jaw, and because my jaw was misaligned, it kind of made my teeth misaligned. And when your teeth are misaligned or your jaw is misaligned, it literally could cause misalignment throughout your body. So he said there was a slight misalignment in my spine. This was something that, again, doctors couldn't see. They were wondering how this came about. They were saying, maybe it's just years of bad posture and everything. But then, as everything, there's always a reason why. So if you want to know why the bad posture came about, there's several reasons why the bad posture came about. Basically, God was telling me the bad posture came because my jaw was tilted. So, like, when you have pressure in your jaw, it kind of shifts. Like, you kind of hold your head in a different way, and that literally, the effects go all down your body. Like, it's really a ripple effect. Like, I've never experienced something so scary, but yet not that serious, according to God, in my life. He, throughout this entire year, for the past 4 or 5 months especially, he was literally talking to me every single day. I'd be crying, writing in my journal, feeling like nobody could understand what's going on with me. I had a family member who thought I was over exaggerating a little bit. She's like, "How could your jaw make you dizzy? How could your jaw make do with your butt or your back?" And I'm and she thought I was just taking off of work because like I didn't want to be there and everything. And I'm like, honestly, the effects of work, like it's just everything. Like I said before, like it all stems from stress. But I realized as the months went by that there was more to it besides stress. Like stress made it feel worse. I remember I took like a week off of work. I was thinking of like FMLA, but that didn't go through because I couldn't get any signatures from the doctors because they didn't think I was going through anything that serious. So it was a very lonely process. I feel like I missed out hanging out with my friends as much as I could have. It wasn't until June, July that I really started to feel like, okay, I could go out for a short while because I had to take baby steps and that nothing major would happen. So I did the physical therapy for like 6 weeks. I knew beginning of May, like, when God began to speak to me seriously about what was going on, I started to like Google it. I started to do the exercises. So when I went to physical therapy, it was kind of, nothing new, because they were kind of telling me some of the exercises, not all, but some of them I already knew. But it was a frightening experience. I'm not gonna lie. I felt discomfort walking. I felt it wasn't it was dizziness, but it was more out of balance. Just feeling like I was gonna sort of fall down. Not really, but it just basically made everything out of alignment. My jaw, my sacrum, my pelvis. I told you it was gonna be very vivid. So I don't mean to give you like a whole like physics lesson or like about how the body works. That's not what I'm here to talk about. But it's just the miracle of God. That's what I want everyone to get out of this, because this was one time in my life where I was really scared. I thought I had to do surgery. I was like, something does not feel right in my body. Every time I bent down, I'd feel like if my spine was shaking. Like it would last for a few seconds, maybe a minute at most, but it was very scary. Like I didn't want to live life. I had trouble concentrating at work. I had to quit school. Like I just wasn't myself. Like all I wanted to do for the past 3 months is do the physical therapy exercises, do things with my jaw to help it feel better, but mostly because to be honest, it wasn't really my jaw. Like it stemmed from a jaw imbalance issue or a tooth imbalance, like God said, but it was more an issue throughout my entire body, feeling out of whack. So the physical therapy literally helped me more than anything. So I started the physical therapy like May 20th, 21st, and I ended June 28th. But I was still doing the exercises at home. God was showing me additional exercises that I could do. So that's basically it. The story of how God used me. He kept saying, "You'll be okay. You will be healed." He kept saying repeatedly, "We will We will fix it together." If you see a majority of my posts about your posture, teeth, jaw, that's basically what I was feeling, and it's interesting because God said the reason why this happened was because of poor posture. Poor posture. My friends and family thought it was just because, like, I had like a posture issue. Like I was feeling insecure as a child. I wouldn't stand up straight. But I knew, like, when you just know your body so well, and you knew that there was something else that was causing it. That's basically how I felt. So God kept saying, he's like, it's all right, it's not that serious, it's just scary because this is the first time you're experiencing it. He even gave me a time. He's like, by the summer, you'll be okay. I'm practically 100%, to be honest. Sometimes I think I do feel it a little bit, but it's just because I'm overthinking it. But when God says that you're going to be healed, you're going to be healed. And you really just have to believe it. And he told me this was a year that I was really going to get my faith stronger than it ever was before, and it definitely has been a lot stronger. I am so thankful for that. So I told God all I want is just to be myself again, to practice walking with ease, to not feel like one leg is, because I kind of had like a leg imbalance at the same time. Like all of these things literally needed fixing just from my jaw, like my legs, my pelvis, my feet, like my lower back, everything. And again, I said like it wasn't pain, it was just that lingering discomfort feeling, just feeling like I couldn't give it 100% when I was out there in the real world. So this really showed me severe perseverance, because I would do those exercises. I used to do it every day. Then as time went on, God said, you're putting too much pressure on your spine. You could now do it. It doesn't have to be every day, but every few days. So that's it. Thank you, God. Thank you, God, for being myself again. I am so happy that you've helped me, because I'm telling you, it was God who helped me. People would say it's a physical therapist, it's a dentist, it's a doctor, but it was all God, because he knew what was going on in me more than any of those doctors. And he was able to speak to me very clearly through dreams, mostly verbally, but to give me step-by-step instruction on how to help myself feel myself again. And it's just wonderful and beautiful. I'm happy that I'm able to be here and talk to you all about what has been going on with me. Hopefully I didn't miss anything important. I tried not to let it be too drawn out and to focus on what's the main point of all of this. So this is it. This is the story of how God used me. And I feel like when God heals you, he heals you more than you ever were before. So even if I was feeling fine before this all happened, I feel twice as better now, because whatever infirmities were there before, and it's just are gone now. It's just more of an appreciation of what he has done. So thank you, God. Thank you, all of you guys. And hopefully I will be more consistent now. Take care.